Welcome into the High Noon Show today it's Monday, start of another week. I'm Pugs Moran. We do this stream each and every Monday through Friday, noon till about 2 o'clock, sometimes a little bit later. Then we do a second stream. That's right, not one, but two. Two streams each and every day here at the Radio Misfits podcast platform. We do this one, high noon. This one is all about topics. This one is all about trends. This one's all about current events, headlines, whatever's happening in the world right now. Try and give you everything as far as, as far as I see it. All the stuff that's coming across my plate today. We give you hot takes. We give you a quick little nutshell version of the story. And if you're so inclined, if you're intrigued, you can go about your day and learn a little bit more if you want. Don't spend a whole lot of time on any individual topic. We just go bam, 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 and try and give you a nice little cheat sheet for all the things that people are talking about today. Then Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is a little bit different. Pillow Talk comes on at 9 p.m. That's Monday through Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is me and James Parker. We do more conversational, typically just one or two topics, and we dig into it a little bit more. It's a bit more provocative, a bit more ridiculous. That's what Pillow Talk is. Again, Pillow Talk, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time. And then this one, just me, high noon, current events, topics, headlines, all that kind of stuff. Noon to 2. Hello, Kevin. Kevin is in the chat room. Chat room is, a little quiet right now, as is the case on most Mondays. Let's see here. Had a good weekend. Had a really good weekend. Had the boy this weekend. We had fun. I'll get into that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the weekend because it coincides with something that's trending pretty high on multiple platforms today. So we'll talk about that. And what else do we have to talk about? Oh, well, I'll just tell you all the things we're gonna get into today. Let me see here. Somebody was an a-hole and decided to interrupt everybody's March Madness bracket pandemonium last night at 6 o'clock. We'll talk about that person and who that person might be. We're going to need another dose. That's right. They're talking about another booster, and I'll let you know if I'm in or if I'm out. We also got Elon Musk is picking a fight with Putin, challenging him. We've got the Queen of America. The Queen of America is trending again for doing something that only the awesome Queen of America could do. We'll talk about that. Marilyn Manson's in trouble. When isn't he? We have multiple serial killer situations going on in this country. We'll talk about that. What else? We got some tennis ladies who are upset. Multiple stories concerning female tennis players. Multiple. Yeah, that's right. It's good, but not about tennis though. About things other than tennis. All right, we're watching a very sad situation with Scott Hall, WWE wrestler, and of course, Kanye. Kanye is at it again. Tell you the latest. He's picking fights with DL Hughley. Oh, and also, Blue Origin is getting ready to send a celebrity into space next week. And this ain't like they did. Then they do what they do. They did Shatner. They did William Shatner, right? Nah, it's different than William Shatner. It's a different kind of celebrity. So we'll do that plus a whole bunch of other things. Oh, and Rolling Stone just published a really controversial poll. It was done by their listeners, viewers, readers. What do you do it for? You read Rolling Stone. Yeah, they did a readers poll. And boy, oh boy, were the results controversial. So we'll get into that. Plus anything else that happens to pop up during the 2 hours that we're doing the show. If it's trending, if people are talking about it, and if it's non-political, non-divisive. We don't do religion. We don't do politics. We don't do anything that is, just so blah. Anything that you can get everywhere else. Nope, not going to do it. This is for people who are interested in the other things, the stupid things, the dumb things that people are talking about today, the inclusive things. All right, so let's get started with what today is. Today is March the 14th. It is the 73rd day of the year. 292 days remain in the year 2022. Let's see. What is today? Today is the National Day of. What are we celebrating today? Well, it's Pi Day, 314. Get it? Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. That's trending. Where do I go with that? What am I supposed? Okay, I get it. It's 314. That's pi in mathematics. That's okay. Ha. So that's happening. It's also National Napping Day. National Napping Day. Apparently, we're all allowed to take a nap or a siesta. Don't say siesta because you're not Spanish. I've got a cultural appropriation bug up my boo, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to contain it today. I don't know if you want me to contain it. It's bugging me though. We'll talk about that in a second. It's National Children's Craft Day. What kind of craft? Spycraft? Witchcraft? That just crafts. I guess crafts. Kids. Who does crafts? Kids, right? Kids do crafts, and lonely single 40-year-old women. Who else does crafts? There's two. There's a Coke and a Pepsi. There's Hobby Lobby and there's Michael's. So apparently there are a lot of people out there doing crafts, and today is National Children's Craft Day. Yeah. See if my kid wrote on my desk. My kid sits at this desk on the weekends, and I'm hearing he scrawls little messages to me. Is there anything new? Nope, nothing new. Still just the "you're looking good," which I appreciate, because I am leading my Spartan existence. I said that for Lent, although I am no longer a practicing Catholic, I am using the excuse of the Lenten season to change a whole lot about me. I'm running 3 miles a day. I am eating less than 1,200 calories a day. I know I said 1,000, but man, that was really hard. I need a snack. I need something like after 9 o'clock. 1,200 calories a day. Waking up early. I'm writing every day. I'm going to finish this book project that I've been working on, and I've gone months without doing anything because I just look at it like homework, and I'm like, yeah. But I am actually dedicating myself to that. What else am I doing with my Spartan existence? I don't know. I'm doing a lot of things. I got a whole bunch of things going on. Didn't go that well this weekend. I was afraid. I was afraid that this was going to be a weekend where I fell off the wagon as far as my diligently following my Lenten plan of changing my life. And then, the kid shows up with Pop-Tarts, and it's just, out the window. But we restarted again today. Today we restart. Although Saturday I did not do my run, but I got my steps in. I got 7,000 steps in on Saturday. So that was something. And I didn't eat crazy. I ate pretty good. We ate good. We ate healthy. There were no fast food or anything like that. I didn't eat pizza or nothing. So, all right. So I wasn't terrible, although I feel like I've let myself down. So today it's back. Dialing into that Spartan existence. National Pie Day, we talked about that. Yeah, of course. I would love a piece of pie, but I can't have it. Nope. Stay dialed in. It's National Potato Chip Day. Like potato chips need their own day. Hey, do you know how potato chips got started? You know how they got popularized? Because they were I guess they were kind of a thing. I guess anytime anybody fried a potato wedge, it became a potato chip after a while. Potato chips got started because in 1923, potato chips as an American snack food, in 1920, I don't know. Al Capone, that's right, Al Capone, the gangster, is responsible for the American obsession with potato chips. He went to a dinner supper club up in North New York. North New York. Is North New York upstate New York, I believe they call it. He went to a supper club in upstate New York, and the chef wanted to create something special for Al Capone because he was Al Capone. He was a big celebrity back then. And so the chef made these. He took a potato and he made these really thin little things, and then he fried them. He made potato chips. The chef at a supper club in upstate New York made these potato chips and brought them out. They were hot and they were salted, and he gave them to Al Capone, and Al Capone loved them. Oh, these are so great. And he went back to Chicago, that's where Al Capone was from. And one of the things that he controlled in Chicago was vending. Like they used to, bars used to have peanuts, and bars used to have like popcorn and all of that kind of stuff. That's what you get if you went to a bar and they wanted to give you something salty. And he thought, hey, I've got this company that I own that works for me, that are indebted to the mob. And that company was called Japs Potato Chips. Or no, it was just Japs, like popcorn or whatever. It soon became Japs Potato Chips. And he said, hey, you guys got to start making this stuff. And I want to have these things at all of my speakeasies during Prohibition. So an Al Capone speakeasy during Prohibition would serve these potato chips. They were sliced really thin and they were fried, and they were created by the Japs company. Japs. Then World War II came along, and Japs had to change their name, and they changed their name to Jay's. Jay's Potato Chips, ladies and gentlemen, a Chicago tradition backed by Al Capone, and that's where the popularity of potato chips come from. There you go. And then there were a whole bunch of other things all over the country. They went, hey, we can make those too. Hey, those are pretty good. We should have those in Boston. We should have those in New York. Hey, we should have those in Ohio. And then all of a sudden, all these other potato chip companies started popping up. But that's the origin story of the popularization. They didn't invent them. They had been around. He just never had them before. And then he went back to all the bars and stuff that he controlled. And he said, we got to serve these. And then all of a sudden, people are putting them in bags and people are eating them. So happy Potato Chip Day. Now I'm going to click on National Potato Chip Day and see if it has that origin story. Okay, here's the origin story that they give us. Totally different than the one you just did. Yeah, but I didn't say he invented them. Saratoga chips is what they were originally called. On August 24th, 1853, an unhappy restaurant customer kept sending his potatoes back to the kitchen, complaining they were thick and soggy. Chef George Crumb decided to slice the potatoes as thin as possible, frying them until crisp and adding extra salt. To the chef's surprise, the customer loved them. The crispy potatoes soon became a regular item on the restaurant's menu under the name Saratoga chips. Other explanations point to the existence of a photo chip point in recipes, blah, 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 blah. Let me see if there's anything in here. However, by the late 1870s, menus across the country used the term Saratoga chips. The name carried into grocery stores, when bakeries, blah, blah, blah. All right. The classic potato chips. I don't see anything about Al Capone here. I don't see anything about it. You just told the whole story, and then the official history of potato chips don't back any of that up. Well, let me just Google Al Capone and potato chips. See if chips. Here we go. The strange history of potato chips. All right, here's one. Did Al Capone popularize potato chips? The history of the potato chip. Al Capone's potato chip connection. Okay, so he's getting some credit. You can Google it. Let me see what this one says. You just told the story. You better back it up. I know. All right. This is just all about potato chips. But yeah, okay. Al Capone's potato chip connection. So it's a thing. May not be entirely true, but what the hell? I just wasted a good 5 minutes talking about it. Here we go. What else is today? That's it. You don't need it. It's potato chip day. It's nap day. It's pie day. And it's potato chip day. Oh, let's see. Let's do some birthdays. Who was born on this day? Eli Whitney. Oh, no. This day in history. This is not births. This is things that happened. On this day in 1794, Eli Whitney is granted a patent for the cotton gin. That's where they made gin, alcohol, out of cotton. It's truly a miracle. 1961, this happened. Apparently nothing happened for 50 years. 1794 to 1961. A United States Air Force B-52 bomber crashes near Yuba City, California. You said you weren't going to do plane crashes anymore. Well, this is not just a plane crash. There's a whole other side to this one. And by the way, there's like 10 plane crashes today. If I was still doing my rundown of plane crashes throughout history, today is a bad day to fly. But on this day in 1961, a United States Air Force B-52 bomber crashed near Yuba City, California, while carrying 4 nuclear weapons. Yeah, I've heard about this story. I've heard this story. Like, I think I saw some kind of documentary that talked about it. It was one of these bombers that was like up in the air at all times, and it had nukes in it, and it was like supposed to be on the ready should anything go down. And the pilots got really tired and they fell asleep, and the plane crashed. And it had 4 nukes on the plane. They didn't go off. Thank God. Could you imagine if 4 nuclear warheads in 1961 went off in Yuba City, California? Oh my God. But they didn't go off. They were I don't know, apparently they were pretty packed in good, turned off. Do you turn them on? I don't know, whatever. But that happened on this day in 1961. On this day in 1964, Jack Ruby is convicted of killing Lee Harvey Oswald, the assumed assassin of John F. Kennedy, right here in Dallas, Texas. On this day in 1982, the South African government bombs the headquarters of the African National Congress in London. Now, this one caught my eye because it doesn't, I don't remember. I was alive in 1982. I don't remember this being a big story. The South African government, not terrorists, the government of South Africa bombed the headquarters of the African National Congress in London. The South African government bombed a building in London, and that didn't start a war between Europe and Africa? I mean, what the hell? We got to click on this. We got to click on it. We got to click on it. How? Or was it just because it was like the African Congress? The Brits were like, well, I can see their point, because everybody's racist back then. And maybe today too. The London offices of the African National Congress were wrecked by an 11-kilogram bomb, which exploded against the rear wall at 9 a.m. on March the 14th, 1982. Windows up to 400 yards away were broken. Caretaker Vernet Mbatha, an African National Congress voluntary worker who was sleeping in a flat above the offices, was injured. Significant damage was caused to the building on White Lion Street and Penn. Anti-apartheid activists blamed the South African government. The decision to bomb the office was made following an African National Congress attack in South Africa, including a rocket attack on the Voortrekkerhoekte military base in August of 81. It was also to demonstrate South Africa's displeasure with the British government. The property was repaired in the African National Congress's base until Nelson Mandela's election as South African president. Remained open until then in 1994. General Johan Coetzee, former head of the security branch of the South African police, and 8 other South African policemen admitted to the attack at an amnesty hearing of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Pretoria in September of 88. Coetzee claimed the symbolic attack was ordered by the National Party government of the time. All right, so I guess what happened was when it happened, they just blamed it on terrorists. But then in 1988, it was revealed that, the government actually did. The South African government actually did a bombing in London. Seems like if they had... It just seems like it should have caused a war. That seems like one government bombing another. Just, that's all I'm saying. All right, birthdays. So we had some big birthdays today. Albert Einstein was born on this day in 1879. I got no Albert Einstein takes. Nothing interesting anyway, other than it's rumored that he had like 10 of the same suits hanging in his closet, and he just rotated them every day and he wore the same thing. And it's said that the reason Albert Einstein did that was because he didn't want to have to think about how to dress. So he just bought the same thing and wore the same thing every day. That sounds like bullshit to me, but whatever. We'll go with it. Born on this day in 1933, Michael Caine. Michael Caine, English actor and author. So how old would he be? He'd be 60, 82, 89. He's 89 years old. Michael Caine is 89 years old today. Also 89 years old today, Quincy Jones, American singer, songwriter, trumpet player, producer. Father of Rashida Jones. Who doesn't like Rashida Jones? Karen from The Office. Everybody loves Karen from The Office. Rashida Jones is the daughter of Mod Squad actress Peggy Lipton and Quincy Jones. Two attractive people. Two attractive people made an attractive daughter. Go figure. Coffee. Born on this day in 1948, Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal, American actor, director, producer. Says screenwriter, but I don't know. What did he write? Did he write that cowboy movie? What was the cowboy movie? See, that cowboy movie is no longer in my head. I 5 years ago, I probably could have told you the name of the cowboy movie with Jack Palance and Daniel Stern and Bruno Kirby. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I don't care. I don't care that much. It was a good movie, though. I'll probably never have to. I hope I never have to look it up. Billy Crystal. What did Billy Crystal do? What do you say about Billy Crystal? Billy Crystal. Okay, here's something. No single individual probably did more in my life to normalize the idea of homosexuality quite like Billy Crystal. That's right. That's right. Billy Crystal played the first openly gay character. I don't know if he was he's probably the first. You know what? He's probably the first openly gay character. Like there were other characters on TV who were obviously gay, like anything that Paul Lynde did, I mean, any character that he ever played. Charles Nelson Riley, he did some things on TV. Anything that he played was obviously gay. But the first character who was openly gay that I recall was Billy Crystal as Jody Dallas on Soap. And here's the thing. Here's why I say normalized being homosexual, because he didn't play the character with any of the stereotypes of the time. Like if you were to play a gay, if they said, okay, it's 1977 and you're on TV and you need to play a gay guy, let me see what you got. It would be, it'd be like, oh, and they'd talk with a lisp and they'd just be, they'd basically be doing Paul Lynde or Charles Nelson Riley, who, interestingly enough, weren't playing that. That was just who they were. But that's how it would have been. But Billy Crystal didn't do that. Billy Crystal just played Billy Crystal. He just played a normal person. He didn't have the flamboyant thing. I mean, they did some things. Like there were some things now that are cringy. Because he was playing a gay character, he also liked to dress like a woman. Like there were times when he would dress in like women's clothing and that was, by today's standards, that's kind of cringy because that's not a gay thing. That's a transvestite thing. They're different. And yeah, some transvestites might also be gay, but just because you're gay doesn't mean that you dress like a woman. And they kind of made that a bit of a stereotype. But Jody Dallas in Soap, the TV show Soap, it was an incredibly good TV show. That show was so funny. It was like the Arrested Development of its time. It was so good. Not a whole lot of people watched it, but it was so good that all the critics and even the network it was on was like, yeah, we're going to leave this on because it's really good. I know that people are slow to jump into this show, but this show is really good. Soap was great. And he played Jody Dallas and he was gay and he wasn't, he was probably, I mean, Bert, if we're talking about Soap, Bert was my favorite character by far. And then Chuck and Bob were my two. Chuck and Bob. You people, if you know Soap, you know who Chuck and Bob are. Chuck and Bob were, Chuck was a dude who was a ventriloquist and Bob was his dummy. And Chuck made no distinction between puppetry and a real human. Bob was basically a real person. It was just very funny. So Bert, Chuck and Bob, and then Jody. Those are like my favorite characters. Jody, the gay one. And I'm like 8 years old and I'm watching this guy and I'm like, he's gay. Everything that I'm being told in 1977 is that gay people are terrible and they're awful. And I'm supposed to hate them because that's kind of everything that's coming into my world about gay. Gay is bad. Gay is bad. What are you, gay? You're a gay guy. What are you, gay? That was the whole thing. And I'm watching Jody Dallas. And I'm like, this guy's funny. I like this guy. I like him. Oh, that's right. He's gay. I'm not supposed to like him. That doesn't matter. I like him anyway. So there you go. I give Billy Crystal credit. Billy Crystal did more to normalize the idea of homosexuality for me. And I'm a heterosexual dude. You don't have to say that. It's obvious. Is it? Is it though? Schizophrenic me thinks that I'm very butch. I just involuntarily made my voice deeper there. I'm obviously straight. No, but yeah, I was like, I'm total. Oh, were you about to say you have gay friends? Oh, you're so progressive. Trying to think if I have any gay friends. I mean, really, because that's something you say. You're like, oh, I've got plenty of gay friends. What you really mean is that you've met gay people and that you've maybe socialized with them. But when there's something good on TV, is there a gay person that you call? And not that it's important that they're gay, but like, are they just a friend that you'd be like, oh, dude, you got to watch this? Oh, yeah. And also you're gay. No, I don't have that. I don't have any gay friends. I mean, there are gay people I know. And I think I have gay friends on Twitter and I have gay friends on Facebook, but like real, no. But then again, I only have like 4 friends. I only have like 4 actual friends who I talk to and stuff, and because I'm a bit of a loner. But okay, so I need a gay friend. I got a Mexican friend. I got a Mexican friend. I don't have any black friends either. I don't. I used to, but again, I only have 4 friends, and one's Polish, one's Mexican, one's Italian, and what is he? What I don't know. And one I don't know. Why? Because I don't have a checklist with my friends. But hey, I'm open. I'm hiring a gay friend, a black friend, a lesbian friend. I'm hiring friends. No, I'm really not hiring friends. I don't need any more friends. My point is, I'm open-minded. I don't have an issue with homosexuals. It doesn't bother me. And I think a lot of that has to do with Billy Crystal. So happy birthday, Billy Crystal. Happy birthday, Steph Curry. Steph Curry was born on this day in 1988. Boy, I really went deep on the whole gay thing, and then I felt like I was digging a hole, and I needed to talk my way out of it. And then the more I talked my way out of it, it was just getting deeper and deeper, and it's like the sides of the hole started caving in, and I was like, I got to pull myself out of here. Steph Curry, he's celebrating a birthday today. Born in 1988. So was he 34 years old? Okay, very good. Born on this day in 1997, Simone Biles, American gymnast, Simone Biles. Texas girl. Yeah, raised in Houston. All right, happy gold medalist. I don't know. I don't know enough about Simone Biles. I know she's a gymnast. I know she's from Texas. I know it's her birthday today. That's pretty much it. I'm out. I know I should know more, but I don't. I really don't. I don't know more. All right, dead on this day. On this day in 2018, Stephen Hawking died. Stephen Hawking. He was. He was sort of like he inherited the mantle of smartest guy ever. What the hell is that? Is that a pop-up? Oh, it's a National Potato Day pop-up. We gotta get rid of that. All right. Albert Einstein, whose birthday it is today, he was always considered like the smartest guy ever. And then Stephen Hawking came along, and then it was like, Stephen Hawking's the smartest guy ever. So okay. He died. He died on this day in 1942. What did he have? He had like, did he have, I don't know what he had. He talked through like the computer, like the computer, because he had like this whole thing, but his brain was fine. Apparently his body was like wrecked, but his brain was fine. Also died on this day. I want to get these guys out. I want to make sure that we mention these guys who died on this day. Died on this day in 1921, Bernard Ryan. Died on this day in 1923, Charlie Daly. Why am I mentioning them? Why are you mentioning two people that we've never heard of? Well, because you should, because it's going to lead us right into the first topic that I want to talk about today. Bernard Ryan was executed by the oppressive British Army on this day in 1921. He was an Irish Republican. What? That means that he was an elephant? No. An Irish Republican had nothing to do with politics. Kind of has everything to do with politics. Yes, but not American politics. Doesn't mean Republican. An Irish Republican. He was fighting for the Irish Free State. He wanted the Brits out of Ireland. And on this day in 1921, he was executed. Charlie Daly, same thing. They're both, no, Charlie Daly isn't. Bernie Ryan is. Bernie Ryan is a member of what's known as the Forgotten 10, who were 10 basically like founding fathers, patriots of the Irish independence movement. The whole reason that there is an independent country of Ireland now is because of guys like Bernard Ryan. And he was executed. Charlie Day was also executed, but he wasn't one of the Forgotten 10. So why am I mentioning this? Because it's St. Patrick's Week, and one of the big, first of all, this is trending. Hashtag First Bushmills is trending, which, let me tell you something. Bushmills is not Jameson. Oh, they're the same thing. Well, maybe if you're a peasant, you'd think they're the same. They are not the same thing. Jameson is far superior to Bushmills. Bushmills is the Irish whiskey of the oppressor. Bushmills is the Irish whiskey of the dirty orange Protestant. Whereas Jameson's is green. Jameson's is green. Jameson is for the Irish Catholics, the people who wanted freedom. So I went to the parade this weekend. It's a whole big, it's St. Patrick's Day week, right? Went to the Dallas parade. All the parades came back. Parades and St. Patrick's Day is trending because there's a whole bunch of, it's been trending since Friday. Took my kid. My kid is, we figured out that my kid is probably at least 55% Irish. Me, I'm 100% Irish. I gave 100% of Irish ethnicity to my son. His mom is not entirely sure, but on her father's side, because of the last name, I believe that there's obviously some Irish in there. So my kid gets 50% of his ethnicity from me, plus he might be getting another 5 to 15% from his mom. So my kid is legit Irish. So he's and we started this weekend. This was our cultural appreciation weekend. It was like he's been brainwashed since he was little. I mean, he knows he's Irish. He gets all of these things. He's not. I don't want him to be raised as one of these people who don't know what they are, don't know where their family come from, don't know what their home nation. I mean, this is their home. He's an American, and I'm an American. I'm an American first, of course I am. But there has to be some sort of appreciation and understanding of where we all came from. Because here in America, we are all immigrants, unless we're Native Americans, we all came from somewhere else. We've all got something. And in a lot of this country, people's ethnicities, people's culture have been completely washed over by this, new fast cars, guns, and hamburgers of American culture, which is fine. That's fine. That's America. If you're an American, you can have your own culture too. But we went to the Dallas parade on Saturday. And it was, first of all, I got major dad points. I timed it perfectly because it started, if those of you familiar with the Dallas area, started on Greenville Avenue up there by North Park Mall, and then it comes down Greenville Avenue and then hangs a right on SMU Boulevard and then ends at SMU Boulevard in 75 Central, the expressway there. And, we're right next to SMU. So I wanted to, I thought, come on, we'll go on over. It's right down the block. We'll be at the end of the parade. Parade started at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. We got there at like noon. As we were arriving, we walked to the end of the right where the parade ends, right where it ends, where everybody is, all the trucks when they're done in the float. They're called floats, dummy. The floats when they're done, they stop and everybody gets off, and then they like park in this big parking lot, and then whatever, the end of the parade. So we walked to the very end of it where the last ones came through. And when we walked up there, there's like nothing. It's like open, and we're like, oh, okay, what did we miss it? And then we look down the block, and here comes the first one. We saw the entire parade because we got there at the perfect time. We didn't have to sit there. We weren't in the, I mean, there was lots of people, thousands and thousands of people where we were, but we got there right at the very end. So what we ended up seeing, we saw everything. Everything passed by us, and then they were done. Everything passed by us, and they were done. Now, as far as beads and candy and stuff that they were giving away, kind of got the short end of the stick on that because they had given it all away in the 2-mile parade that had preceded it. But my kid got to meet Dirk Nowitzki, huh? I got big dad points on that one, right? Because he was the Grand Marshal, so he was in the very first car. And Dirk is up to 7 foot tall. He's waving, and the crowd's going crazy. And as it's pulling down the street, I'm like, "Oh, I was hoping we get to see Dirk. Look, it's Dirk." And my kid's like, "Oh, that's awesome, Dirk! Throw me a bead!" And throwing beads and all this kind of stuff. Dirk, by the way, how do I say this without impugning the greatness of the man? I mean, is there a more beloved figure? And honestly, is there a more beloved figure in Dallas than Dirk Nowitzki? Dirk should never leave. I know he's got like big ass mansion in Hawaii. He's got a big ass mansion in Germany and all that stuff. He should never leave. I mean, he just is so beloved here. So Dirk pulls up, right, and then the parade ends, and he's literally like 10 feet in front of us, and he's just sitting there, and he gets off, and now he's working the line, right? He's high-fiving everybody, he's walking the crowd, and everybody's Dirk picture. He's taking selfies with everybody. Dirk was enjoying St. Patrick's Day. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but Dirk by the end of the parade was loosey-goosey and loving his people. He's hugging people. He's high-fiving. And we were on the opposite side of the street. So, the parade was coming down on one side, the right-hand side, because that's what we drive on here in America. And we were on the left-hand side. And so we're like, oh, are they going to... What does Dirk do? Dirk looks at the other side of the street, and he comes over. He's waving his arms. He's like, God, everybody's going crazy. Dirk comes to us first. Puts this Miller Lite blinking bead thing around my kid's neck. He's like, here you go, buddy. And he puts it on, and he's like, oh, Dirk, thank you. And they're high-fiving. He's like, then this happened. My kid goes, can I get a selfie? And Dirk's like, yeah, buddy, come on. And he puts his arm around him, and like my kid, I'm standing there, I'm dad. I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready for this. I didn't have a phone. My phone is in my pocket. Hold on. Let me click the button. So he's like, you're too slow, Dad. You're too slow. And he moves on. And he's like, next time, buddy. Next time. High-fiving. It was great. My kid was in 7th. He's like, Dirk is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, but we didn't get a picture. So that was all right. So that was good. So that's how it started. And then that was the first float because he was the Grand Marshal. And then we just sat there and we watched every single float come by. Every single float. Every single float. St. Patrick's Day, a celebration of our proud culture. Every single float. Did not hear one Irish song. Nope. No Irish Eyes Are Smiling. No unicorn song. Not even some U2. Nothing. No Irish music whatsoever. A lot of dance music. A lot of, a lot of Mexican music. A lot of that stuff. Also, Dallas, not a single bagpipe. Not one bagpipe. We watched the entire damn parade. Not one bagpipe. You know what we did see? We saw 15 guys from the Dallas lowrider club, 15 Mexican guys in lowriders playing some kind of Tejano music on a giant speakers. They were all dressed like leprechauns, and apparently that's fine. Not a single bagpipe. Not a single Irish song. And then you know what we did for lunch? You know where we went for lunch? We went we went to Halal Guys. We went to Halal. Way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So the parade was a lot of fun. The parade was my Dirk is another one of my terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. What is that? I don't know. It's like a combination of he's been in Texas so long. It's like it's not authentically German anymore, but it was still good. It was still good. The parade was good. But so we're gonna have this discussion maybe later in the week with James, maybe on St. Patrick's Day night. I don't know. But what is the difference between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation? Why I don't get it. I don't get why the Irish culture it's perfectly fine to depict it as nothing but drunken debauchery and silliness and insanity. Why I saw there were a whole bunch of, oh God, these poor, adorable little black girls, this whole like dance team of like black girls. They were all dressed like little leprechauns, and they're dancing, and they're dancing to Beyonce. They ain't even dancing to Sinead O'Connor. How you gonna dance to Sinead O'Connor? I don't know, but still, there was nothing Irish about it, other than the fact that they were all dancing around and acting like leprechauns, like that's all we are as a people. And I got into a conversation with him about my kid, because my kid's very tuned into all of this stuff, and he's like, how come if I wanted to wear a sombrero, somebody would yell at me, but they can run around and they can dress like all we do is drink? And I'm like, well, I don't know, son. I don't have an answer for you on that one. I don't. And then, because the night before, that Friday night, we started our big, Irish appreciation, and this is, your culture and all that stuff. The night before, we watched this gut-wrenching documentary about the Troubles and about how just brutalized the Irish people have been for 1,000 years. And basically how nobody cares. It's like, yeah, whatever, you're white guys. No, we're not. Ask anyone in Europe. The Irish are the crackhead Appalachian trash of Europe. They're Irish in America, where there was a law in New York that you couldn't hire Irish people because they didn't want any more dirty, scuzzy Irish. We were brutalized by the Brits. You're just a white colonizer. Dude, I'm 100% Irish. I ain't never colonized anyone. As a matter of fact, for 1,000 years, my people were the victims of colonization, and we fought back tooth and nail. Killed, died, tragedy. They starved us out. They tried to starve the British tried to starve the Irish out in 1847, Black 47. People don't even know about that. Oh, you mean the potato famine? Yeah. And why were potatoes the only thing we could eat? Because the Brits came over, took all of our land, chased Irish people out who were Catholic, replaced them with British Protestants, and said, you now own this land. You're going to farm the land. And any farmable land in Ireland, all of the stuff that was there was sent back to the British Empire, and the people in Ireland got nothing. So you know what they said? Here, use potatoes, because we gave you all the shit land, and you can only grow potatoes grow on like rocky bullshit land. Here, have some potatoes. And then in 1847, the potato crop failed. Millions died. Another million left the country. And Britain refused to do anything. They sent no aid. They did nothing. And you know what the position of the British government at the time was? Good. Get those people out of our land. We want that for us. So, I mean, we should be really upset. Like, the Irish people should be, but we're not. And this is my whole point. We're not upset. Nobody, well, I shouldn't say nobody. we were enslaved, we were brutalized, they tried to conquer us for hundreds and hundreds of years. It never worked because we kept fighting back, and we made it so irritating for them that they finally gave us the bottom half of the country. The north part of our country is still UK. They still won't give that up. So he asked me, he's like, "What's the difference?" He's like, "What's the difference? Why is it okay? Doesn't it seem like they're making fun of us?" And I'm like, well, and then we got into a whole lesson about what St. Patrick's Day in America is, because St. Patrick's Day goes all the way back to the 15th century. St. Patrick's Day is a religious holiday. It's about St. Patrick, who wasn't Irish, by the way. St. Patrick, who brought Christianity. He was a missionary. He didn't chase out the snakes. He chased the snakes out of Ireland. Ireland doesn't have snakes. There are no snakes in Ireland. It's not a thing. He brought Christianity. The snakes, driving the snakes out, was a metaphor for the pagans. He drove the pagans out of Ireland by spreading Christianity. So it's a Christian holiday. It's a Catholic holiday. It's a very serious holiday in the Catholic Church. But in America, when the Irish were not allowed to have jobs and the Irish were not welcome here and they didn't want us, and they passed laws that said that we couldn't even be hired. If you hired an Irishman, you would then face fines and be imprisoned. St. Patrick's Day was started as a celebration to kind of show people that, see, we can be fun. So all of the debauchery and all that stuff, we're self-inflicted. We did it to ourselves. We planned that. That was like, let's just throw a big party and invite everybody. Nobody's going to hate us if we're having a party. So here we are all these years later, and I've got my 12-year-old son going, what? Why is it that, like, if I talk like hip hop, I'm appropriating? Or why is it that I can't wear, a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo? We had this conversation. I'm like, dude, I go, there is no difference. There is absolutely no difference other than the fact that, I don't know, Irish people don't seem to care. Irish people are like, what? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, have a good time. Just, don't beat us anymore. Don't brutalize us anymore. St. Patty was Scottish. Was he? That could be. Rob Barr says St. Patrick was Scottish. I don't know. Scotland stole all your instruments. It's simple, Pugs. If you're white, it's appropriation. If you're not, it's appreciation. But see, that's the other argument, Will. Irish people aren't considered white. The only people that consider Irish people white are people who actually have brown skin. Everybody else in the world, everybody in Europe, they don't consider us white. They consider us trash. We are garbage. We are the blacks of Europe, as was so famously said in the TV or in the movie, The Commitments. So I don't know. I don't get it. That's why I always get upset when people are like, "Oh, you're a colonizer." No, I'm not, dude. No, I'm not. I know your fight. Just look at a little bit of Irish history. And by the way, the Irish history, it goes all the way up to 1998. 1998 is when what was it? The Black Friday Accords. That's what it was. Yeah, the Black Friday Treaty of 1998, when let's just say there's still trouble. Anyway, so that's why St. Patrick's Parade, they're all trending. And there was no true cultural appreciation at this parade. No bagpipes, no Irish songs, no dancing girls. There was no step dancers, the Lord of the, none of that. It was very Hispanic. It was incredibly Hispanic. Oh, yes. The tradition of the Irish lowrider. Yes, that's wonderful to see 15 of those in a row at the Irish parade. And they're all dressed like leprechauns, making fun of us. Okay. Whatever. Speaking of another fine Irishman, Tom Brady is trending. Tom Brady. You see that? What a dick. This guy is such a dick. Tom Brady is trending. Tom Brady could have announced he was coming back Sunday afternoon at 2. He could have done it Sunday morning. He could have waited till Monday morning. But no, Tom Brady did it specifically so that he could steal the thunder from March Madness. Tom Brady tweeted out that he was coming back during the selection show so that every radio show, imagine every sports radio station in the country that is doing their March Madness live selection show, they all had to break out of that format to announce that Tom Brady has announced after 5 weeks of retirement that he is coming back to the NFL and going to play a 23rd season, I guess, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What a dick. Seriously, dude, you couldn't have waited till Monday morning. You had to wait. You had to time it right as the late conference championship games were ending so that you could just upend any of the momentum that March Madness had by being Tom Brady. I'm just going to walk on in here, make it all about me for the next 20 minutes. Sorry, tiny little college who's getting in for the first time. They're not going to talk about you on the radio shows now because they had to spend 10 minutes talking about me coming back. Just such a dick. Fine Irishman. That's right. Tom Brady's an Irishman, St. Patrick's. But what a dick move. And by the way, 5 weeks, he retired for 5 weeks to spend more time with his family. What, you don't like your family? What's that about? He was on vacation for like 4 of those weeks. He spends like 1 week around the house tripping over Lincoln logs and kids' toys. And he's like, I got to get back. This is awful. So there you go. Tom Brady is returning. 6 weeks, I guess it says here. Tom Brady is returning to the NFL. Pfizer is trending. Why is Pfizer trending? Pfizer is trending because they're now saying that you're going to need a 4th dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Going to need a booster plus. I got my first shot. I got my second shot. And I was supposed to be done. Then they said, you're going to need a booster. And I'm like, ugh. So then I got the booster. And I got so sick off the booster. I don't, in my adult life, I do not ever remember being that sick. It was bad. It was really bad. I think I canceled like 2 or 3 shows. And it only lasted like 36 hours. And then I remember I took on day 2, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And because I'd been up all night, just sick, just terrible sick, chills, fever, achy, everything, the worst, headache, no energy, awful. And I remember I laid down in my bed. Well, I'd never got out of my bed, but I went back to bed after taking a cold shower. And because I was burning up, I was, you're hot, you're cold, you're hot, you're cold, you're hot. And I climbed back in bed and I fell asleep about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up at 1:30 and my bed was soaked. It was just soaked. So in this little like 2-hour nap that I took, my fever broke and I sweated everything out. And I got up and I went, wow, that was the worst 36 hours that I can ever remember spending. So I went to McDonald's and I remember I got like 2 Big Macs. I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten. I was like, woo, I actually want to eat. Let's go to McDonald's. So that was my 3rd shot. And now Pfizer is telling me that we're going to need a 4th shot. But this one's got to be the last one. This one is going to protect you against all the variants. I don't know. I think I got like another month, maybe month and a half before. Because when every 5 months is what they say. Like, so 5 months after. So when did I get the booster? It was before Christmas. So January, February. Okay, so I got a couple of months left to really consider this. But man, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I can do another one. The 3rd one was first one, felt a little yucky. Second one, felt a little yucky for a day. But I went to work. I did everything I needed to do. It didn't stop me. 3rd one, on my ass, thinking, did something go wrong? Did they give me something wrong? Because I'm really thinking I need to go to the emergency room. I don't know if I can do a 4th one. I really don't. The experience with my 3rd shot was so terrible. So whatever, Pfizer, we'll table this discussion. We'll see how I feel in a couple of months. Elon versus Putin is trending. Elon versus Putin. Why is Elon versus Putin? Well, Elon is putting his Starlink system, that's his satellite delivered internet, all over the Ukraine so that the people in the Ukraine throughout this war, we'll just call it a war with Russia, can have access and digital connectivity and all that kind of stuff. But now Elon is challenging Vladimir Putin. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk bizarrely, he is pretty bizarrely said in a tweet on Monday that he was challenging Russian President Vladimir Putin to single combat over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Musk tweeted, "I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single comment. Stakes are Ukraine," he wrote. He wrote some of the words in Cyrillic script and the rest of it in English. In a follow-up tweet, he tagged the official Twitter account for the Russian presidency and wrote in Russian, "Do you agree to this fight?" He did not offer any details about how this would actually happen. All right, so I don't think of Elon Musk as a tough guy, Here's what we do know, though. We're talking about the two richest men in the world fighting, that's interesting. Putin is believed to be the wealthiest person in the world with a personal wealth estimated anywhere between 250 and 300 billion dollars. Elon Musk is like at 200 billion, right? So Putin is believed to have a little bit more than Musk. By the way, that's a hint that you're probably not ruling with the best interest of your people if during your time in office you become the wealthiest person on the planet. I don't think that's democracy. That doesn't seem legit. So, I would have to go with Putin, though. I mean, was Putin almost 70? He's in his 60s, and Elon Musk is like my age, so he's in his early 50s, 50, 51, something like that. I don't think Elon Musk is a tough guy, whereas I think Putin has probably done some pretty tough guy things. Now, I know we've seen him like bare-chested riding the horse, and we've seen him boxing with a bear and all that kind of stuff, but that's all for show. Putin has had a harder coming up, I mean, he was a colonel in the KGB. He ran the KGB. Putin's done some things. I think Putin would probably absolutely, even like 70-year-old Putin would probably destroy Elon Musk in a fight. I just don't think Elon Musk is that tough. All right, there you go. That's why Elon versus Putin is trending, because Elon thinks he can take him. Here's one. I said we got a couple of tennis things happening. Serena and Venus Williams are trending. Let's get into this. Okay, so last night was the Critics' Choice Awards, I guess. I don't know. I used to like award shows. I haven't seen an award show in years. Actually, I think I do see the Oscars. So, I mean, I don't know if I watch the Oscars live or if now I watch it like on Hulu and fast forward. I don't know. I don't know how I did it last year, but it's not like a big thing anymore. Where I used to like, all right, we're getting pizza and we're going to watch it used to be like a Super Bowl. It was like the Super Bowl and then the Oscars. And that's pretty much, the two things that I would really get into as far as single opportunity viewing experiences. But the Critics' Choice Awards were last night, and Joan, or is it Jane? I don't know. Let's see here. Jane Campion, or is it Campion? I don't know. Campion. I don't know. Whatever. She's the director of Hair of the Dog, Way of the Dog, Zone of the Dog, whatever, the dog movie, the cowboy, the gay cow. Remember Sam Elliott was like, that's a gay cowboy movie. Whatever the gay cowboy movie is, Power of the Dog, I think that's right, Power of the Dog. So she won something. I don't know if it was Best Picture, if it was just director or whatever, but she won for Power of the Dog. And then she got up on stage and she said this. Yeah. So this is why Venus and Serena are trending. Let's pull this up. Let's give it a look. We'll watch, and then you people decide. You people let me know.
Love out to my fellow.
All right, here we are. There we go. She got into a fight last week with Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott went on Mark Maron's WTF podcast and was like, "That's a gay Western with not enough mustaches," or whatever his problem was with it. But he didn't like it. He's a Western guy. I like Sam Elliott, but it seemed like a pretty dumb take. But hey, no surprise there. All right, so here you go. So fresh off her fight with Sam Elliott, here she is accepting her award, and let's see how this goes down.
Give my love out to my the guys. The nominees. And you know, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys. Like I have to.
All right, who's that? Who's this right here? Is that somebody? Who is that? Can someone in the chat room tell me who that is? Person clapping and smiling? Who is that? Who is this person right here? Who is this person? I'm just asking. I want to know. Who is that person? I'll wait. If anyone in the chat room knows who that person is. Pretty black lady in a silver dress, and she's clapping and she's smiling. Who is that? Can someone please tell me who that is? Because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who that is. I mean, I think I know who it is, but I ain't going to say who it is and then be wrong. And it's like, what do they all look alike? I'm like, I don't know. Anybody? Nobody. See, nobody knows who that is. Okay, so we'll move on. So she's being dragged all over the Twittersphere today because apparently that was taken as a shot against Venus and Serena Williams. Okay, so all she said, well, let's do it again. Was this a shot? Was this a shot? Here, is this a shot?
Give my love out to my the guys. The nominees. And you know, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels.
Okay, first, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. You are such marvels. You are such marvels. Sounds like a compliment.
However, you do not play.
However, that's difficult.
Against the guys.
However, you do not play against the guys. Like she does as a director. There is no category for female director. It's just director. And so...
Like I have to.
All right, now I know that's one of the Williams sisters. And by the way, the Williams sisters are at all of these film events this cycle because that King Richard movie, you know, the Will Smith movie where he plays their dad, the movie about their dad and about how their dad, you know, tennis coach or whatever. So I know that's one of them. I don't know which one. Why? Because you're racist? No, because I don't watch women's tennis. That's why. I don't know. I don't know. She's beautiful, whoever she is. I know that. I don't know if that's Venus and I don't know if that's Serena. I don't know what the difference is between the two of them. I know that's one of them. Is that another one? I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Is that one of the Williams sisters, or am I racist for not knowing? I don't know. Because honestly, this person seems like they're totally into it and they're not offended at all. And she doesn't look like she's offended. She does. This one, I'm pretty sure, is one of the Williams sisters. She does not look offended. She looks... Okay, she looks like, what did she just say? But I don't know who does. Why is the camera on her? Is the camera on her because that's another one of the Williams sisters? Because she is not offended. She is hooting and hollering for that statement. She loves it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's one of the... And honestly, my next take is kind of dependent on whether or not that's one of the Williams sisters, because I don't want to go with my take and then have it, that's not one of the Williams sisters. That's... I don't know. You people can't help me. I looked up the red carpet. It is. Okay. All right. So that is Serena. That's not Felicia Rashad, Byron, you troublemaker. Okay. So it seems like at least one of the Williams sisters is enthusiastically okay with that, right? She seems fine. Oh, but not Twitter. Twitter is talking about Jane Campion needs to apologize and how dare she say something like that. So that's why Serena and Venus are trending. Yeah, should I even dare read you some of these things? It looks like she's okay with it. I don't get it. Ugh. I've never heard of Jane Campion and I refuse to Google her, but nobody has to Google Venus or Serena. Me, I did. I didn't know who that was. Me, I. Well, you're just a white man. You're just a colonizer. No, I'm not. I'm Irish. Back this up about 15 minutes and I'll explain to you how I'm not just some white colonizer dude. I don't know. It was a stupid. It was not even stupid. It was fine. It was. I don't. What is she supposed to say? It's true. She does. There is no difference between female directors and male directors. They all compete in the same category. However, I think there are differences in sport. Athletic. Oh God! Oh, you're going to go into the whole bone density argument. Yes, there is. There's a difference in athletic ability between the male of the species and the female of the species, and it is why the fastest person on Earth is never going to be a woman, or the person that's able to lift the most weight on the planet, the world record setting weightlifter is never going to be a woman. It's just not. It's just not. Our bodies are built differently. So that's why there's a women's division in tennis and a men's division in tennis. Oh, but Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King proved that Billie Jean King was a young female, number one ranked female tennis player on the planet, and Bobby Riggs was a barely professional 60-year-old male hustler. That's not exactly. Well, Billie Jean King versus Jimmy Connors. Let's see that one back in 1974. There's just a difference. There's just a difference. There are things that women are better at men at. And then there are just things that through natural genetics, men are just. You did it. You almost did the bone density argument, didn't you? I did. I almost did the bone density argument. All right, so there you go. That's Serena and Venus. That's why Joan Campion is being dragged. I don't even really care. That movie was all right. I thought it was okay. It was fine. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. Doesn't make my top 5 films. Licorice Pizza is the best movie of the year. There, I said it. Licorice Pizza, Red Rocket, Belfast. Those are the top 3. Spider-Man, whatever the most recent Spider-Man is. That's number 4. And I don't know. I think Don't Look Up. I think Don't Look Up is 5. I think that's it. I think those are my 5 favorite films of the year. Jeff Glenn, bone density. It's also the reason mice don't pull plows. Yeah. Yes, very, very true. I'll give you. There you go, my friend. All right. So Serena and Venus are trending. Queen of America is trending. That's right. America's Queen. America's Queen is trending. Who's America's Queen? Well, if you listen to this show, you know who America's Queen is. America's Queen is Dolly Parton. She trends so much. For like a woman who's like almost 80 years old, my God. She is as relevant as ever. So why is she trending today? Because Dolly Parton wakes up in the morning and just trips over something cool that she did the night before on her way to doing something cool first thing in the morning. Before this woman has coffee in the morning, Dolly Parton does something cool, something nice, something decent, something just incredibly beautiful. just such a wonderful human being. So why is Dolly Parton trending right now? Well, I'll tell you. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, they got all their nominees for this year's Hall of Fame class. And Dolly Parton is one of the people on the ballot for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And there have been a number of people who have said, well, Dolly's wonderful and all, but she's not rocking. She doesn't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She doesn't. So what did Dolly Parton do? Dolly Parton put out this statement today. Dolly here Even though I am extremely flattered and grateful to be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't feel that I have earned that right. I really do not want votes to be split because of me, so I must respectfully bow out. I do hope that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will understand and be willing to consider me again, if I'm ever worthy, that is. This has, however, inspired me to put out a hopefully great rock and roll album at some point in the future, which I have always wanted to do. My husband is a total rock and roll freak and has always encouraged me to do one. I wish all of the nominees good luck and thank you again for the compliment. Rock on, Dolly Parton. Oh, man! Dolly didn't want, I don't know, Foreigner or some other group that could have gone in this year. Maybe Foreigner's already, I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Dolly didn't want to be responsible for some rock act not getting into the Hall of Fame because they put her in there just because she's awesome and nobody's more rock and roll than the awesome Dolly Parton. And so she bowed out. She's like, no, take my name off the ballot. There are people that won't get in if you put me in. So you better put them in. And you know what? I'll tell you what, I'll make a rock and roll album. And then maybe down the line, I mean, come on, man. This woman, this woman is putting everybody who works at her amusement park, Dollywood, and the resorts that she owns surrounding the amusement park. She's putting them all through college. That's part-time workers. Even part-time workers. If you are a part-time worker at Dollywood and you want to go to college, she's going to pay for it. You just sign up through the thing through the employment office there, and they will. Freaking Dolly Parton. I don't even like. I mean, I don't know that I think any Dolly Parton songs are jams. You know, I don't know. What a person. What an incredible person. Like I said, she wakes up in the morning and she trips over something cool that she did the night before on her way to doing something cool before she has her coffee. That is Dolly Parton. Jesus Louises. When this woman goes, I'm gonna be devastated. I'm gonna be devastated. That's a one hell of a person. That is a great human being. All right, now let's go to the flip side. Marilyn Manson is trending. That's the polar opposite of Dolly Parton. Why is Marilyn Manson trending? Well, you know this Phoenix Rising documentary that Evan Rachel Wood is creating? Evan Rachel Wood was I don't know, I think she started dating Marilyn Manson when she was like 17 or something weird like that. And Evan Rachel Wood has this documentary about the abuse that she suffered through her relationship with Marilyn Manson. And I guess there's four victims of Marilyn Manson in this documentary who are being profiled. And one of them is Marilyn Manson's longtime personal assistant, doesn't work for Marilyn Manson anymore, but Evan Rachel Wood got her in front of a camera and she told all of her stuff. Well, Marilyn Manson is now suing her for talking about all the awful stuff that he did to her. Marilyn Manson accuser says she's being threatened with legal action if she participates in Phoenix Rising film. Lawyers for Marilyn Manson's former assistant, Ashley Waters, claims she was warned about retaliatory legal action if she took part in Evan Rachel Wood's Phoenix Rising documentary. Lawyers representing Ashley Waters, Marilyn Manson's former assistant, and one of four women who filed lawsuits against the singer, accusing him of sexual assault, say that their client was threatened with retaliatory legal action if she took part in Evan Rachel Wood's forthcoming Phoenix Rising documentary. 2 weeks ago, following the release of the HBO documentary made by Manson's former partner Woods and director Amy Berg. Oh, I guess so. This is out now. This is I didn't know that. I don't care that much about Marilyn Manson, although Dope Show, Beautiful People, those are two really good songs to run to. It addresses the abuse allegations made against the singer. Manson filed legal documents accusing the 34-year-old actress of defamation. That's Evan Rachel Wood. She's 34 now. Oh my God, we're all getting so old. In Phoenix Rising, Wood alleges that she was essentially raped on camera by her former fiance during the filming of the video for 2007's Heart-Shaped Glasses. The court documents filed by Manson against Wood state the action arises from the wrongful and illegal acts done in furtherance of a conspiracy by the defendant, Evan Rachel Wood, and her on-again, off-again romantic partner, defendant Ashley Gore, a.k.a. Ilma Gore. I don't know what any of this means. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. Marilyn Manson's a piece of garbage. He's obviously a piece of garbage. Pieces of garbage can make jams. They can make songs that are really good, but still doesn't change. How do you, oh, he's not really like that. His name is Brian Warner, and he's from Ohio. He's totally normal. No, he's not. No, he's not. Brian Warner from Ohio was never normal. He was obviously the weird kid, and he just, became this alter ego. It's not just, I know we want to tell ourselves that, oh, it's just that, but no, he's a weird guy. He's a scary, weird, gross guy. All right, we got a couple of NYC serial. Here's two things that are trending: NYC serial shooter and NYC serial killer, and they're two totally separate things. There is a guy in New York City and Washington, D.C. These are happening between Washington and D.C. I guess the first 4 or 5 of these shootings occurred in Washington, D.C., and now there have been 3 in New York of the exact same motive. What do they call that? They linked it. Whoever they are, the police are like, yeah, these are linked. These are the same thing. So there's a guy here. I'll tell you about it. He's going around and he's shooting homeless guys as they just lay there. Like, a homeless guy's life isn't bad enough. He's middle of the night. This dude is like walking around New York City and just putting bullets in the heads of homeless guys as they sleep in their sleeping bags. New York, Dateline. A quick-thinking Manhattan homeless man likely saved his own life when he scared off a gunman who shot him by pretending to call 911, despite not having a phone. The gunman went on to shoot another sleeping homeless man to death just an hour later, and now police are offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. The surviving victim, a 38-year-old man, was sleeping on this happened yesterday, sleeping on King Street in Hudson Square, when he awoke to a sensation of a bullet tearing through his right forearm at around 5 a.m. What are you doing? He screamed when he saw the shooter, wearing all black, including a black mask, still pointing the gun at him. The victim jumped up and faked putting a phone to his ear, even though he had no cell phone, and said he was calling the police. The spooked gunman ran off east on King Street, while the victim scrambled to a nearby red emergency reporting system box attached to a pole on Varick Street. The gunman then found his second target at about 6 a.m. on Howard Street near Lafayette. He shot the sleeping man bundled in a sleeping bag in the head and neck and then ran off west on Howard Street. The victim was discovered dead, sleeping in his sleeping bag almost 11 hours later. New York City police announced it's offering $10,000 reward for the help catching the sadistic shooter, described as a young, thin black man about 5'4", wearing all black, including a black mask. After the shootings, a task force of police officers and homeless outreach workers will patrol the subway system and locations where homeless people stay to encourage them to sleep in city-run shelters. The shootings, okay, so where's the deal about the New York? Okay, so this story doesn't exactly have anything about the New York. Hold on, let me pull that up. There we go. Let's see what this one is. 5 have now been shot after cold-blooded killer targets homeless men in Washington, D.C., and now New York. Okay, so this guy's out there. This is Black DC are looking for a cold-blooded killer who police say has targeted people experiencing homelessness in a string of recent shootings, including 2 that were fatal. Since March 3rd, at least 5 homeless men have been shot in New York City and Washington, D.C., leaving at least 1 man in each city dead. Police in both cities are working with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms to investigate the shootings. NYPD said the departments will jointly investigate given the similar circumstances of the shootings. Evidence recovered and information from ATF's National Integrated Ballistics Information Network show a link. Shootings began in Washington, D.C. The spate of attacks began March 3rd in Washington when police responded to a man experiencing homelessness. Is that a new thing? Is that like, didn't we just call him like a year ago? Wouldn't we have just said police responded to a homeless man who was injured? It's no longer a homeless man. Now it's a man experiencing homelessness, because this is the second story in a row where it's been worded that way. Yeah. All right. Days after last DC attack, 2 men in New York were shot. Police are asking the public for help in identifying the subject. Oh, and then there's pictures of him. Okay. So one, he's got a mask and a hat on, and the other one, it's you can see his face. He looks kind of looks like Montel Williams, except they say he's 5'4", which, there you go. All right, so that's the serial shooter who everybody is looking for in New York. But that's not all. That's right. There is way more here, folks. How about a serial killer? Ooh, that's right. There's also a serial killer in New York, except this guy they just caught. Alleged serial killer suspected of dismembering New York City women. This one's got some pieces to sink our teeth into. An 83-year-old previously convicted of killing 2 women was arrested after a woman's body parts were found near her. Get that? 83-year-old, and they're calling her. Okay. An 83-year-old previously convicted of killing 2 women was arrested after a woman's body parts were found near her New York City apartment building. So it's a woman. It's an 83-year-old woman who's already been convicted in her life of murdering 2 people, is now chopping people up. Residents of a Brooklyn apartment building learned Thursday that 83-year-old tenant Harvey Marcelin, a trans woman, also known as Marcelin Harvey. All right, so see what I mean? There's stuff to sink our teeth into here. Residents of a Brooklyn apartment building learned Thursday that 83-year-old tenant Harvey Marcelin, a trans woman also known as Marceline Harvey, was charged with second-degree murder and concealment of a human corpse. And it says, warning, the details of this case are graphic and disturbing. I'll be the judge of that. Harvey is suspected of dismembering a woman, identified as 68-year-old Susan Lyden, in her apartment. Police reportedly found Lyden's torso bagged in a shopping cart the morning of March 3rd, just down the block from the apartment building. The criminal complaint says surveillance cameras captured Harvey walking out of the apartment building and leaving the bag at the corner. 83 years old. It's not even trying. A search warrant was executed for the suspect's residence, where a human head was discovered. Police believe that Harvey befriended Lyden 2 years ago via social media. Lyden was reportedly last seen alive on February 27th, walking into Harvey's apartment. New York State records show Harvey was convicted of murder in 1963 for shooting a woman to death. She was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison and released in 1984. 2 years later, in 1986, Harvey was again convicted of manslaughter for stabbing a woman to death and was released for that one in 2019. Killed 2 women. All right, so 1963, kills somebody, goes to jail for like 73, goes to jail for 21 years. And they're like, you're fine, right? That was all the way back in the 60s that you killed that person. Yeah, I'm fine. Let me out. And they let him out. Her, him, whatever. I don't know. Was he trans then? I don't know. Let them out. Isn't that appropriate? Them. Lets them out after doing 21 years. And then they stab a woman to death. Like 2 years. They're free for 2 years. They're like, I got to get back to the killing. And then they stab someone. Went back to prison a second time for murdering a second person, and then was released in 2019. And now they've transitioned into a woman. Now they're cutting people up and leaving them in shopping bags on street corners in New York. Seems like if you kill one person, you should just go to jail forever. That just seems like you shouldn't get a chance. And then certainly not after the second time. All right, I know we put you in jail in 1963. You did 21 years. We let you out. And then you almost immediately stabbed another woman to death. And I know you then went to jail for another 20. Wait, was that 2019? 30. You went to jail for another 36 years. And how does that happen? Go to jail for 21 years, get out, kill somebody, go to jail for 36 years, get out, dismember somebody. Now you're 83 years old. You're looking. All right. But I do, I basically, if I continued to read the story, the cops are now like, are we just catching this person every time they kill someone? Or are there a whole bunch of people this person has killed that we just didn't catch them for? So now they think that there's like a whole bunch of other cases that are probably linked. So there you go. That's your New York City serial shooter and your New York City serial killer. Serial killer has been caught, 83 years old, and the serial shooter is still out there. It's Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. 314, get it? Ha! It's Pi Day. This was an interesting story. I'll be the judge of this. I just thought, so this is Eat This Not That, which is a really good food blog. I don't know if you like food blog. Are you a foodie? Are you a gourmand? Do you like, I like Eat This Not That. It's one of my favorite, all right, so you've looked at Eat This Not That like 3 times in your life, and now you're acting like you read it every day. I know. So this gives us the number 1 pies in each state. All right, so are you ready? We'll go through this list. Sweet potato pie. Sweet potato pie is the favored pie in just one state, and that state, Georgia. Sweet potato pie. Ugh. Sweet potatoes are disgusting. Peach pie is the number 1 pie in 2 states. Those states are Colorado and Wyoming. Peach pie is good. I could go with peach pie. Lemon meringue pie. Lemon meringue pie is good. Lemon meringue pie is the number 1 pie in 2 states, and that's Delaware and Alaska. Banana cream pie. Love banana cream pie. That's one of my favorite. I like coconut cream pie, I think is my favorite, but banana cream pie is right up there. Banana cream pie is the most popular pie in 2 states, Minnesota and North Dakota. Boston cream pie. Boston cream pie is good. I like it because it's like a combination of cake and pie. It's delicious. Boston cream pie is number 1 in 2 states, New York and New Jersey, but not Boston, not Massachusetts. Marionberry pie. Did you know that? Marionberry, he was the crack-smoking mayor of D.C. I didn't know they named a pie after him. Marionberry pie. And it's not named after him. There's actually a Marionberry. It's a kind of berry that's Pacific Northwest. Oh, okay. Pacific Northwest. Marionberry pie is the most popular pie in 2 states, and that would be Oregon and Washington, Pacific Northwest, where the Marionberry is prevalent. Chocolate pie. I like chocolate pie. Chocolate pie is good. It's just chocolate. Chocolate pie is good. Chocolate pie is the number 1 pie in 3 states. Those states are Arkansas, Vermont, and Virginia. All right. Very good. Chocolate pie. Key lime pie. Key lime pie is the most Key lime pie is good. A good key lime pie. Key lime pie is the number 1 pie in 3 states. You like all pie, don't you? Yeah, I really do. Key lime pie is the most popular pie in Florida, South Carolina. Yeah, in Alabama. Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. Their pie is key lime. Blueberry pie. 4 states checking in with blueberry pie. Blueberry pie is the number 1 pie in Massachusetts, Vermont, Rhode Island, and Maine. There you go. How about apple pie? Did you think apple pie would be like the most popular pie in like 15 states? Not 15, like, at least maybe 20 states. It's apples. Doesn't everybody have apples? Apple pie is the most popular pie in 4 states. What are they? Well, here you go. Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Nebraska. Apple pie is so basic. That was another bad imitation. That's my Anna Delvey impression. So basic. Apple pie. You ever be with somebody who tricks up an apple pie with like cheese? Oh, yeah, hot apple pie with a nice piece of melted cheddar cheese. Cheese on apple pie? I've had it. It's actually kind of good. It really is. I know it's weird. Oh, you got to put vanilla ice cream on it. That's the only way that I'll eat apple pie. If you can give me an apple pie, you better put some vanilla ice cream on that. It's the only way. Otherwise, I don't want apple pie. Pecan pie. Pecan pie is the most popular pie in 5 states. Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. That's right here in Texas, pecan pie. It's the only time I've ever had pecan pie was here in Texas. You know why? Because pecan pie kind of sucks. It's too rich. Ugh, what? It's like butterscotch pie. Ugh, it's like, ugh. I need a little tart. I need a little tang. Like I said, I like my key lime. I need a little pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is the number 1 pie in 9 states, and it is the most disgusting pie of all time ever. Pumpkin pie is number 1 in Arizona, California, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, South Dakota, and Utah. Gross. Cherry pie, number 1, the number 1 pie in America. Cherry pie, number 1 pie in 11 states. I really would have thought this was going to be apple, but it turns out it's cherry pie. She's my cherry pie. I like cherry pie. As a matter of fact, I will say that of the Hostess pies, remember the Hostess pies, fruit pies that Hostess used to have when we were kids. The Hostess cherry pie is, oh man. Oh no, get the apple. You're so basic. I don't see Anna Delvey again. Apple pie, ugh, cherry pie. Those Hostess cherry pies. Oh man, they're so good. All right. So what are the 11 states that claim the number 1 pie in America? The 11 states are Illinois, my home state. I had a lot of cherry pie growing up. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. Well, that's all 3 right there. That's like boom, boom, boom. That's like a big section, middle of the heart of America. Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan. Yeah, Michigan cherries. Missouri, Ohio, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. So there you have it. There's your pies. Happy Pie Day. I want pie now. I really want pie. Spartan existence. All right, let's see what else we got here. Adam says a good lemon icebox pie is hard to top. Are you just mean like a lemon pie that's in an icebox, or is lemon icebox pie a specific thing? I don't know. I had lemon too much. I don't know. I'm not a big lemon fan. But I suppose it's probably not that tart, right? There's got to be sugar added. It's not just like lemon. Cherry's my favorite. April and me, cherry. Although I do like the cream pies. Like I love Boston cream pie. I love coconut cream pie. I still think that coconut cream pie is my favorite pie. That's. I think it would go. I think the pie pecking order is coconut cream pie, cherry pie, key lime pie, chocolate cream pie, banana cream pie. There you go. What else do we have trending today? Yeah, I don't want to get into that. We're going to get into that whole thing. I don't. Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, is trending, and all right, we'll get into it. All right, fine, we'll get into it. She's trending because a heckler at a recent tournament over the weekend brought her to tears, and she demanded the microphone from the line judge. She wanted to address the crowd, and I don't know, and she started crying, and I think the heckler said something like, "You suck," or it wasn't like, I'll read you the story. We'll read you the story. She seems like a very sweet girl, this Naomi Osaka. I don't watch women's tennis. I couldn't pick her out of a lineup, but I have read enough about her. She's very front and center about her mental You almost said shortcomings, but you stopped yourself. I did. Her mental issues. I have mental shortcomings. I would be comfortable applying that to my own issues, but maybe she doesn't. What do you mean shortcomings? I'm like, well, I've got them. I didn't think it was necessarily a terrible thing to say, but okay, I get it. A heckler brought Naomi Osaka to tears and rattled the Japanese tennis star during an emotional 6-0, 6-4 loss to Russia's Veronika Kudermetova on Saturday at the BNP Paribas Open. A woman in the crowd inside the stadium yelled, "Naomi, you suck!" at Osaka after Kudermetova went up a break early in the first set. The four-time Grand Slam champion, Naomi Osaka, who has been transparent about her struggles with mental health, began to tear up and was visibly shaken on center court at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. This is in California, by the way. Fans around the woman yelled to have the heckler removed, but chair umpire Paula Vieira Souza said that the woman could not be identified, and the match resumed, with the crowd largely behind Osaka. At a break in play following the second game, Osaka asked Souza for a microphone to address the crowd. "Can I borrow your microphone?" Osaka asked the chair umpire. "What do you want to say?" Souza responded. "I just want to say something," Osaka replied. "I'm not going to curse. I don't curse. It's just weighing on my heart." Souza spoke to WTA Tour supervisor Claire Wood, who then spoke to Osaka for several minutes before declining her request. A player taking the microphone mid-match would have been unprecedented. Most of the conversation was inaudible, but video replay of the conversation clearly picks up the supervisor saying of the heckler, "If it happens again, we're going to find him." The incident created a stir in the crowd and an almost immediate distraction for Osaka, who quickly fell behind two breaks and lost the first set 6-0. Is that love? 6-love. Into the second set, Osaka seemed to shake off the first set loss, but Kudermetova patrolled the baseline with authority and appeared more focused and poised than Osaka during the critical moments of the set. After the match, Osaka asked to speak to the crowd, which typically doesn't happen when a player loses a match. "To be honest, I've been heckled before," Osaka said to the crowd, choking up. "It didn't really bother me, but heckled here? Like, I've watched a video of Venus and Serena get heckled here, and if you've never watched it, you should watch it. And I don't know why, but it went into my head and got replayed a lot." Osaka 24 was referring to an incident in 2001. Okay, so we get it. Somebody yelled, "Hey, you suck." She seems like a very nice person who maybe isn't cut out for this. Maybe that's just the bottom line, because, we talked about this during the Olympics. We talked about you have to be kind of insanely obsessed to be a champion. If anybody could just be a champ, part of being a champion's heart and a champion's head, you have to be mentally like nails. Most of these people who win they got there because they are nails tough in the head. This girl has won a whole bunch of things. She has shown in her past that she does, and she has the talent, the physical attributes to be a champion. But I mean, if somebody at a tennis match yells, "You suck," and you completely crumble, in sports, they used to call people who couldn't handle the pressure head cases. Now, a lot of times head cases were people who were distractions. They were troublemakers. But also, if you couldn't handle the pressure in the most difficult of moments, when champions rise, you were just thought to not have the mental skills for it. And not everybody does. There are how many people? I mean, there are crap tons of guys who were the greatest athlete in their high school, who were, great in their college, and then they bomb out in the pros because they don't have, and it's almost always, well, it's, he didn't have the mental acuity for it. He wasn't dialed in. He couldn't focus. He didn't have the mind of a champion. I mean, is this what we're dealing with Naomi Osaka? Because I thought when I first read this story yesterday, whoa, they must have said some really horrible things that really shook her. The person yelled once. The story says once. It was just once. You suck. And it completely ruined her entire match. I don't know. She seems like a wonderful person. And, she talks about her depression. She's the one who took some time off to deal with her depression. And that's all wonderful. But that doesn't have anything to do with crumbling when somebody yells, you suck. I mean, I know I have depression. It's a totally different kind of thing. I feel bad for this girl. I don't know what's going on with this girl, this Naomi Osaka, who everybody, at least, the little bits of women's tennis that I become familiar with, she's supposed to be the next big thing. But honestly, if she can't handle someone yelling, you suck, then I don't know, then maybe you don't. But she's got a crap ton of Grand Slam wins. She's won big tournaments. And now all of a sudden she can't get past someone yelling, you suck. So weird. So weird. All right. So do we have an update on this one? Hold on. I've been watching this. I've been wanting, before I get into why this person is trending, I want to see what the absolute latest is. What is the absolute latest? Okay, so that is the absolute latest. So I don't know anything about wrestling. I really don't. I'm not all that familiar with WWE or WCW or all that stuff. But I know who Scott Hall is. I actually got to meet Scott Hall. We interviewed Scott Hall once, and I remember thinking, oh, he's a bad guy. This guy's fun. This guy was really nice. He was really nice, and I guess he played a bad guy. He was a legendary bad guy in the WWE. Razor Ramon, I guess, was who he was back in the WWE days. And then who was his partner? Nash? Wasn't it Holland Nash? Something like that? Yeah, those were the guys that I met. Those were the guys that I interviewed. And then they moved to the WCW and they became Holland Nash. And then weren't they a part of like that New World Order wrestling thing? Whatever. Anyway, I remember thinking this guy was a really nice guy. Well, he's being taken off life support at some point today. He suffered a triple heart attack over the weekend. A young guy, not old. I mean, not young. He's not like 28 years old. How old was he? Or is he? Excuse me. As long as they're waiting for his family to all fly in before they remove him from life support. WWE Hall of Famer Scott Hall is on life support after suffering a triple heart attack. Hall had hip replacement surgery last week, but suffered a serious complication when a blood clot got loose. On Instagram, Hall's longtime tag team partner, Kevin Nash, there you go. Kevin Nash shared a photo with Hall and added that his life support will be discontinued once his family is, quote, in place. Kevin Nash is quoted here. I'm going to lose the one person on this planet I've spent more of my life with than anyone else. My heart is broken and I am so very effing sad. I love Scott with all of my heart, but now I have to prepare myself for life without him. I've been blessed to have a friend that took me at face value and I him. When we jumped to the WCW, we didn't care who liked or hated us. We had each other, and with the smooth Barry Bloom, we changed wrestling in content and pay for those a lot that disliked us. We were the outsiders, but we had each other. Scott always felt he wasn't worthy of the afterlife. Well, God, please have some gold-plated toothpicks for my brother. My life was enriched with his take on life. He wasn't perfect, but as he always said, the last perfect person to walk the planet, they nailed to a cross. As we prepare for life without Scott, just remember, there goes a great guy. You ain't going to see another one like him again. See you down the road, Scott. I couldn't love a human being any more than I love you. Scott Hall competed as Razor Ramon in WWE in the early 90s with Kevin Nash as Diesel. The two were instrumental in the rise of WCW after they jumped ship in 1996 as Hall and Nash, the Outsiders. Hall was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2014 and again as a member of the NWO in 2020. Again, I don't know a whole lot about wrestling. I don't really watch wrestling, but I do remember this guy. I remember him. I remember thinking that guy's he's a nice guy. They were really cool guys. I like them. Doesn't say how old he is. I wonder how old he is. Let's see how old. Can't be that old. I mean, it's like my age, right? I mean, maybe a little older. Let me see. That's sad. Hip replacement surgery. Went in for hip replacement surgery and yikes. Oh, okay. So he is older than me. All right, but not, he's 10 years older than me. 10, 11 years older than me, 12 years older than me. Yeah, 63. So he's 63 years old. That's too bad. That's, especially since hip replacement surgery. He just went up with hip replacement surgery. You're not supposed to die from hip replacement surgery. I don't know. Ross Rubio, gold-plated toothpick seems like a bad choice. He always had a toothpick in his mouth. He was like a bad guy. He was like a bad guy who's, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch wrestling, so I'm not entirely sure what his deal was. April says, oh, man, I didn't realize Scott Hall was Razor Ramon. Yeah. Byron says he's 63. Jeff Glenn says it's fake. Jeff, what are you saying? It's fake. Jeff, what is fake? What are we talking about here? I'm out of. Oh, he's talking about pies. Is Jeff obsessed with pies like me? We can go back. It's Pie Day, so we ran through all the pies that are most popular in every state here. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? I don't want to do that story. Oh, we can get into this. This is kind of interesting. Okay, so this is interesting. All right, we got more Kanye. We'll get into some more Yee, as the kids call him, or as he demands to be called. So Yee is now he's in a big fight with D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley, the comedian. So on Sunday, I wake up and I see that Kanye is trending. And whenever Kanye trends, I click on it. I'm like, what did you do now? At some point, it's going to be something really bad. At some point, it's going to be like, this is all stupid shit. This is all just narcissistic. He's spinning off the planet, crazy stuff, not taking his meds, bullshit. But at some point, it's going to be something bad. It's going to be something really bad. This is just silliness. So D.L. Hughley, the comedian, went on some podcast somewhere and basically said that Kanye needs to get help. He needs to take, medication, and that he needs to stop stalking Kim. And he went on to this whole thing about this is getting dangerous. Kanye is getting scary, and he is straight up publicly stalking Kim Kardashian, and the whole country is just ignoring it, and something bad is going to happen. This is a view that I share. I've been saying this for weeks now. We're like, he's going to murder her. He's going to go OJ. He is going to murder her. And we're all going to go, whoa, that's terrible. And I'm like, well, it's happening. It's a slow moving murder. This thing is unfit. I mean, oh, that could never happen. Really? OJ Simpson seemed way more sane than Kanye West. And you know how that went down. So anyway, Kanye is not a normal person. There is something very, very wrong with him. And D.L. Hughley, basically went off on him. Basically said that he's stalking him. And then Kanye wakes up on Monday or Sunday morning and he blasts DL. He basically says where DL is living. He threatens that he's going to come find DL and we're going to come get you. I know where you live. You live in my neighborhood, Calabasas Canyon, California. I'm coming for you. I got my people. You're not going to feel safe anywhere. Kanye West is just openly threatening violence against D.L. Hughley because D.L. Hughley had the balls to say what we're all saying, what I've been saying for weeks. And so that was a thing. That became a thing. And DL Hughley had a great response a couple of hours later. DL Hughley tweeted out, "Ye has all of these people supposedly willing to beat me up, but can't find one of them to run by CVS and get his Xanax prescription filled." It's got all these people. So that was good. That was good. Then Kanye yesterday, then he started going after the trouble spot, right? He's going after. Did you see this stuff? Here, we'll pull this up. God, he made these long Instagram nonsense rants about. All right, so him and Kim got a bunch of kids. I don't even know how many kids they got. I think they got North, Chicago, and Saint. Maybe there's another one. I don't know. I didn't realize they were together that long, that they could have that many kids together, but apparently they got a whole bunch of kids. And they're doing like shared parenting or whatever, and Kanye is obvious. He's got problems with everything. And, Kanye's now like super weird religious guy. He does his Sunday service thing. And so Kanye doesn't want his kid on TikTok, but apparently his kid is on TikTok with Kim and they're doing songs together. And Kanye thinks that's the devil. Kanye's weird. Kanye's getting really freaking weird, like scary ass, gonna kill a whole bunch of people thinking he can get away with it because he's Jesus's best friend, kind of weird. So here, let's find this. Is this where's the Kanye stuff? Let me see. Do we have I'm looking for these. Where's the video? Where in the video? Bear with me. All right. You know what? I don't even really want to show the Kanye video. So if it's not easily accessible, then we just won't do anything with that. All right. That I don't need. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here, we'll just watch some of these weird ass Kanye West. All right. There you go. There's weird ass Kanye. All right. Here we go. So this is one video that he put out yesterday.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I am not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? So when we had the Donda 2 release in Miami, I got a flight for all my kids to come from Calabasas to come in Miami to see the kids. Then assistant hit me and said, all the kids, they said the kids are there. When the plane took off, I got a text from Kim that said, North won't be on the plane. You see, this is the kind of stuff that's just like the Chicago birthday party. And I'm glad that y'all saw in the variety piece what I have to deal with. Here go another thing. The Doves high school basketball game. We hold one in California. My daughter loves basketball. I want her to see the league that her father is starting. North can't go to that game. Now we got Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m. and it's North had a sleepover, so she can't come to Sunday service. I moved the Sunday service up to 10 a.m. so that I can go to Saint soccer game at 12:30. Move the entire thing.
It's just the weirdest. These are like issues that normal people have, and Kanye is I don't know what you're gonna do. All right, so he's angry at Kim, kid stuff. He is so pathetic. I mean, there is zero. He has no idea what he looks like. It's got to be it. He's just got to be surrounded by people that he can do no wrong. It's like, yeah, you're right. Everything you do is right. My check is it still coming this week? It's just yes, but he's just surrounded by nobody who can sit him down and say, dude, you are really embarrassing yourself with this breakup. You guys have broken up. You are coming off like the biggest simp. You are really looking bad. Normally, when guys go through bad breakups, this is what their boys see. This is what their buddies see. This kind of madness. This dude is putting it out there for the entire world to be like, oh my God, dude, she owns you. You look like such a fool. You're running around with women who look just like her. This is a bad, bad look. So he's also doing all the stuff with Pete, right? So Pete Davidson and, they're not getting along all that well. He's talking nonsense and they're talking shit. He did a video where he supposedly buried him. He can't get over it, which, first of all, I don't understand. I don't understand that whole thing. I never understand when dudes who they break up with a girl and that girl starts dating somebody new. I never understood why dude has a problem with the new guy. The new guy's just dating a girl who's single. You guys broke up. There should be zero interaction between old boyfriend and new boyfriend. There should be no interaction at all between anybody involved because it's old boyfriend. You're supposed to just move on. But I understand sometimes people can't move on, but it's not the new boyfriend's fault. So at any rate, we all know that Kanye has been just dropping bombs on Pete Davidson now for months since they started dating. And Pete Davidson hasn't said anything. He is now. Pete Davidson is done playing nice with this whole thing. Oh, and by the way, Pete Davidson has a new tattoo on it. It says Kim. He got a Kim tattoo. Oh, Kanye ain't going to like that. That suggests that maybe there's something serious going on here. Although Pete Davidson is just covered in stupid tattoos, so who knows if that really means anything. So here are some direct text messages between Pete Davidson and Kanye that were released. Not sure how they were released, but this is Pete Davidson reaching out privately to Kanye. And now it's public, and now we can all see these. So here is Pete Davidson reaching out to Kanye just this past weekend, yesterday, okay? And now they're public. Yeah, it says, okay, so this is just yesterday. This is Pete. Yo, it's Skeet. See, because Kanye calls him Skeet. Yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you are so effing lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not going to let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the F up. So that's Pete sending a direct text to Kanye. Kanye responds, oh, you using profanity? Where are you right now? To which Pete responds, in bed with your ex-wife. Oh, man, right there. To which Kanye responds, happy to see you're out of the hospital and rehab. Kanye, like Kanye is the picture of mental purity, right? Kanye, happy to see you're out of the hospital and rehab. To which Pete responds, same here. It's wonders what those places do when you go get help. You should try it. I'm in LA for the day. If you want to stop being a little internet bitch boy and talk, I'm in LA if you want to stop being a little internet bitch boy and talk. You don't scare me, bro. Your actions are so pussy and embarrassing. It's so sad to watch you ruin your legacy on the daily. To which Kanye responds, you're more than welcome to come to Sunday service. To which Pete responds, why don't we meet after Sunday service and after Saints soccer game? Saints, one of their kids. Why don't we meet after Sunday service and after Saints soccer game? I'll be at the Beverly Hills Hilton. We can have food and talk it out in my room privately. one-on-one, man-to-man. What you are doing to your family is dangerous and going to scar them for life. Please handle these matters privately, bro. I beg you. To which Kanye responds, you want to see me? You come to Sunday service. To which Pete responds, this isn't public, dude. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. I wish you'd man up for once in your life. Let me help you, man. I struggle with mental stuff too. It's not an easy journey. You don't have to feel this way anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and so at peace. You have no idea how nice I've been to you despite your actions towards me. I've stopped SNL from talking about or making fun of you, which they've really wanted to do for months. I've stopped stand-up comedians from doing jokes about you anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and at peace. Ugh, boy. I don't. Then he goes on to say, I've stopped stand-up comedians from doing bits about you because I don't want the father of my girl's kids to look bad out there. I have your back, even though you treat me like shit because I want everything to be smooth. But if you continue to press me like you have been for the past 6 months, I'm going to stop being nice. Well, there you have it. Pete Davidson finally. So now let's see if he goes public with any of that stuff. Now, obviously, this came from Kanye because Kanye was the guy that released the last text messages between him and Kim, where Kim was begging him. I'm telling you, folks, everybody is just like, oh, this is so entertaining. Something bad is going to happen here. This is not going to end well. All right, see what else is happening. That's enough about Kanye and Pete Davidson. Blue Origin is trending because Blue Origin, they're sending up some more people to space next week, and they're sending a celebrity. Guess what celebrity Blue Origin is sending up to space next week? Pete Davidson. I know I just said we were done talking about Pete Davidson, but Pete Davidson is going to space. I don't get this. I don't understand it. I am so lost with the whole Pete Davidson thing. He seems fine. He's kind of funny. He's not a top 5 funniest guy on Saturday Night Live. And anybody who says he is doesn't watch Saturday Night Live because Pete Davidson is in probably less than 5% of the sketches. Pete Davidson doesn't do anything on that show. He does some of the videos now, like the pre-made videos. That's his big contribution. He's not in the sketches. I mean, he has been a little bit more this season because Lord Michaels recognizes that suddenly he's really hot. So let's start putting him into shit. But he hasn't even been on the last 2 episodes. He hasn't been there for the last 2 episodes of Saturday Night Live. I don't get it. I don't find him. How Ariana Grande started this whole thing. I think Ariana Grande was dating Pete Davidson ironically. I think it was like an ironic thing. And then every other hot girl in the world went, oh, well, I guess he's in the hot girl class now, so he can now date hot. And now he's with Kim, and Kim seems to really like him. They seem to be having a real relationship. And now he's a movie star? Look, I saw The King of Staten Island. I thought The King of Staten Island was wonderful. But it was Pete Davidson playing Pete Davidson. Can he do Othello? Can he do a Scorsese film? I don't know. I don't get it. And now he's going to space. Now he's going to be shot up by one of these Jeff Bezos rockets. I don't get. I know I'm getting older. I know that the world is passing me by. I just don't understand the whole Pete Davidson thing. He seems fine. He seems just like a good guy. Certainly in the whole Kanye versus Pete Davidson thing, I'm on Team Davidson, but I don't understand why he's like the most talked about celebrity. I don't get it. I've watched his stand-up specials. He's a good stand-up. He's got some funny stuff. He's not a great stand-up. He's not one of the great stand-ups of his generation. He's a good stand-up. He does good. If he came to town and somebody's like, you want to go see Pete Davidson? Yeah, I'll go see Pete Davidson. But it ain't like seeing one of the greats. I mean, it ain't like seeing John Mulaney. And yeah, he is. He's one of the. I'm talking about the greats working today. The guys who are at the top of the stand-up comedy field. Pete Davidson isn't one of those guys. He's good. He's not great. Pete Davidson, the Saturday Night Live comedian, is joining the crew of Jeff Bezos' next Blue Origin flight set for March the 23rd. This marks the fourth human flight launched by the private spaceflight company and its 20th overall. Announced on Monday, today. That's why it's trending. Davidson's fellow crew members will be Party America CEO Marty Allen, philanthropist and real estate mogul Mark Hagel and his wife Sharon Hagel, University of North Carolina professor Jim Kitchen, and Dr. George Neild, president of Commercial Space Technologies. It's going up the 23rd. Blue Origin's first space expedition took place in July of 2021 with Bezos, his brother Mark Bezos, aviator Wally Funk, and Olivia Damon, the youngest person ever to enter space aboard the privately funded reusable spacecraft. Funk previously held the record for the oldest person to go to space at 82 years old. The second flight had Star Trek actor William Shatner on board, who boldly broke that record at 90 years old. Most recently, Good Morning America host Michael Strahan was aboard the third flight back in November. That flight marked the first time Blue Origin operated at its maximum capacity of 6 members. Plus, it was the first time a parent and child went into space together. Each Blue Origin flight has made history in some way. Davidson's flight is less clear, though it will be the first time an SNL cast member has been to space. Well, duh. Not counting a sketch. Okay, so Davidson has been on SNL since 2014, and last year he appeared in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Barely. He was barely in The Suicide Squad. Stop it. He was in like one scene. Recently, he's made headlines for dating Kim Kardashian, which will be shown in the new Hulu reality series, The Kardashians. Oh, apparently Pete's involved with that. Oh, God. And he's been romantic, and he has a romantic comedy titled Meet Cute with Kaylee Cuoco coming up next. I don't get it. He's going to space. He's going to space. I don't know. I just don't understand I don't get it. I don't get the whole Pete Davidson thing. All right, that's it. Let me see what else is trending. Is anything new trending? Has anything popped up in the 2 hours that we've been doing this? Let's see here. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. We got one more thing we can do. This is good. We can do this. I got no problem with this. Rolling Stone. This is trending. Rolling Stone best lead singers. A whole bunch of these lead singers are trending right now. Rolling Stone magazine put out they did a readers poll where they asked the question, Rolling Stone readers pick the best lead singers of all time. All right, so here you go. Here's the list. We'll give you the top 10. Coming in at number 10 on the Rolling Stone readers poll of best lead singers of all time, Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain comes in at 10. Chris Cornell comes in at 9. John Lennon comes in at 8. John Lennon wasn't a lead singer. There was no lead singer in the Beatles. There was no lead singer. I'm sorry, Beatles, there was no lead singer. There was no traditional lead singer in the Beatles. Paul sang as much as John. George sang almost as much as those 3 guys. Ringo even sang from time to time. But I mean, if you're going to talk about like who sang the most in Beatles song, well, it's like Paul and John. They went back and forth. It's like saying Don Henley's the lead singer of the Eagles. No. What, Glenn Frey didn't sing? Come on. There was no lead singer in the Beatles. Kurt Cobain, lead singer. That's for real. Chris Cornell, lead singer. That's for real. John Lennon, no, not a lead singer. Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam. Yeah, he's a lead singer. He's at number 7. Roger Daltrey of The Who coming in at number 6. Yeah, he's a lead singer. That is what a lead singer is. Number 5, Jim Morrison of The Doors. Yeah, lead singer. Number 4, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones. Number 4? Number 4. So that means, according to the Rolling Stone, there are 3 better lead singers of rock bands than Mick Jagger? Nobody. He's the quintessential lead singer. Mick Jagger basically invented the position. I mean, sure, there were other lead singers, but no, he invented the damn position. Mick Jagger is easily, I will say that, okay, maybe not number one, but I mean, as far as like stage presence, moves, Mick Jagger is number 4. Number 3, Bono. Now, I think Bono deserves a place on this list. Absolutely he does. He's a tremendous lead singer. He is a lead singer. Bono, amazing lead singer. One better than Mick Jagger though? Really? I don't know. You could flop Mick Jagger and Bono. You can make Mick Jagger 3 and Bono 4, and I'd be fine with that. But I'm very uncomfortable with Bono 3 and Mick Jagger 4. Number 2, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, if you're going to put together the top 3, yeah, Freddie Mercury gets a place in there. Freddie Mercury's number 2 on this list. That's okay. I mean, if you had put Freddie Mercury at number 1 on the list, I'd be like, okay, I could see that. I mean, wouldn't be my number 1. Honestly, my number 1 would be Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger would be the number 1 frontman, lead singer of all time. But whatever, apparently we're putting Mick Jagger at 4th, so what do I know? So your top 5 is Jim Morrison of the Doors, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, Bono of U2. Number 2 is Freddie Mercury of Queen. And number 1 is Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin. Perfectly acceptable. Perfectly fine. Perfectly acceptable number 1. That if you could give me as the number 1 lead singer any combination of Freddie Mercury, Robert Plant, Mick Jagger. It doesn't matter. Just mix those up. But Mick Jagger is number 4. I love U2. I love Bono, but Bono doesn't deserve to be in the top 3. And not for nothing. I love Chris Cornell. I think Chris Cornell has the greatest voice in rock and roll. I don't think that there was a better vocalist as a lead singer than Chris Cornell. But Chris Cornell at number 9 does not deserve to be on this list. I'm sorry. John Lennon at number 8. John Lennon does not deserve to be on this list. The Beatles didn't have a lead singer. This is one poll where the Beatles don't have to be included in it, okay? They don't have to. Nobody in the Beatles considered anybody the lead singer. I'll tell you who's not on this list, who should be. David Lee Roth. Yeah, absolutely. David freaking Lee Roth. I mean, from 1978 to 1987, 86, I don't know. When did he leave Van Halen? There was no bigger than life rock and roll lead singer frontman than David Lee Roth. How is Chris Cornell on this list and John Lennon, who wasn't even a lead singer, on this list, but DLR isn't? Why are people sleeping on Van Halen? Do people not remember how huge Van Halen was? My God. No Steven Tyler. Ross Rubio. Absolutely right. Why isn't Steven Tyler on this list? Steven Tyler. Jim Morrison. Okay, I'm getting rid of Chris Cornell. I'm getting rid of John Lennon. I'm getting rid of Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was wonderful, incredible, one of a kind. But Jim Morrison doesn't fit into the typical lead singer. I mean, Steven Tyler. Where is Steven Tyler is a top 5er? Without a doubt. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. David Lee Roth deserves to be on this list. I don't even know that Roger Daltrey, absolutely 100% deserves to be on this list. One of the great rock and roll lead singers of all time. Daltrey of The Who, unbelievable. But I'm sorry. In Kurt Cobain, I love Nirvana. But again, when I think of like great lead singers, I don't think Kurt Cobain. I think Kurt Cobain, if this list was greatest artists, he was an artist. He was like a really talented, deep, interesting dude. not exactly a lead singer. Steven Tyler, Ross, beautiful. Ross is a fantastic example of what a lead singer is supposed to be, what a frontman lead singer of a band is. Steven Tyler. Ross also says, if you're getting rid of Cornell, got to get rid of Cobain. I'd say Sammy Hagar might need to be up there. Yeah, I don't know if there's room for both Dave and Sammy, so I'm going to go with Dave because I think Dave's a little bit more interesting as a frontman than Sammy was. But sure, you could make the argument. I mean, we need to... No, Jeff, I'm sorry. Steve Perry, no, doesn't belong. All right, but I'm going to get rid of Kurt Cobain at 10. I'm going to get rid of Chris Cornell at 9. Because again, Chris Cornell would easily be top 3 of best lead vocalist in rock and roll. Cobain goes, Cornell goes, Lennon goes. So that's 3. We've got room for 3 more on here. And I got to get rid of Jim Morrison, 4. Okay, that's 4. So we've got 4 slots. Here's what we're putting in these 4 slots. We're putting in Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, without a doubt. We're gonna put in David Lee Roth because I want him in there. I don't know. Who am I missing? I'm like thinking of like these like iconic. Who's a great lead singer? Man, I hate to say this because a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, but if you were open-minded, I would make a case for Jeff Tate from Queensryche. I would definitely make a Jeff Tate argument for best lead singer. Elvis? What band did Elvis front? Elvis wasn't in a band. Elvis was a solo performer. This is best lead singer in a band. Elvis. And besides, you're not going to get any Elvis love from me on this show. All right, there you have it. Again, according to Rolling Stones listeners, Kurt Cobain, Chris Cornell, John Lennon, Eddie Vedder, Roger Daltrey, Jim Morrison, Mick Jagger, Bono, Freddie Mercury, and the number 1 lead singer of all time, according to Rolling Stone readers, and Robert Plant. That's completely fair. That Robert Plant came in at number 1. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I mean, I wouldn't have put him at number 1. Robert Plant would be in my top 3. I think my number 1. I think my number 1 has to be Mick Jagger. I think my top 3 is Mick Jagger, Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury. Those are my top 3 lead singers. Jeff Lynne, Rick Ocasek, the bearded guy from ZZ Top. I don't know. All right, there you have it. So that's why Rolling Stone is trending. Or actually, that's not why because Rolling Stone isn't trending, but a whole bunch of people, like Ann Wilson. Ann Wilson is trending because people are like, hello, Ann Wilson. Ann Wilson does not make the top 10. Ann Wilson of Heart. She doesn't make the top 10 of best lead singer, but again, if we're going to do the list of the best vocalists, the best singers, of which I would put Chris Cornell at number 1, Freddie Mercury at number 2, I would easily slide in Ann Wilson at number 3. Ann Wilson is an amazing vocalist. She is incredible and a great front woman who probably doesn't get a whole lot of love because she's a chick and rock and roll is a blah, blah, blah. All right, some of the other people that are being mentioned. You know what? Hey, gotta be honest with you. I'm seeing one name here that's starting to trend that a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, but I understand the case that's being made because she is incredible, and I've seen her twice. She is Dolores O'Riordan. Who the hell is Dolores O'Riordan? She's the lead singer of the Cranberries. And if you've ever seen the Cranberries live, it ain't what you think. You're going to be like, whoa, that girl's like Bowie. That girl is crazy. So this person says Dolores O'Riordan. Who else do we have? Other people are saying Ann Wilson. Okay, I get what's happening now. A lot of people are just putting women up just to. Okay, I get it. It's a list and it's all guys. And now people are like just trying to shoehorn women in there. Aretha Franklin was not a lead singer. Tina Turner was. Yeah. Ike and Tina Turner. She fronted a band. She was the front of that band. Grace Slick. People are saying Grace Slick. Okay. All right. I wouldn't put her in the top 10, but yeah, she's a female lead singer. Carole King. Stop it. Carole King did not front a band. She wasn't a lead singer. She was a hippie chick who sat at a piano and wrote pretty songs. People are idiots. Let's see, what else are people saying? Chrissy Hind? Oh my God. Joan Jett. All right. There's an argument to be made. Joan Jett. Joan Jett fronted the Blackhearts. Joan Jett was pretty great. Joan Jett's pretty great. I love Joan Jett. Didn't love Joan Jett in the moment, but like about 15 years ago or so, I got like, I don't even know how it happened, but I rediscovered Joan Jett and I just listened to like everything that she did. And I'm like, wow, she was really cool. This stuff for 1983, 1984 is really cool. Adele. Stop it. She doesn't front a band. A lead singer, by definition, is somebody who plays the position of lead singer in a band. That would suggest that there are people in a band who are playing the other positions. Adele is not in a band. Yeah, Ann Wilson is really getting a lot of love. Most people, I'd say she is number one. Everyone's going, you guys really aren't going to put Ann Wilson on this list? Go listen to some Ann Wilson. Now people are just shoehorning women in. Annie Lennox. Oh, come on. I love Annie Lennox. She's fantastic, but this is not what we're talking about. And Chrissy Hind is boring. She's stop it. Oh my God. I've now gone like 100 tweets down, and it's all just women who were not in bands. People are just now randomly naming women who can sing. Madonna. This person says Madonna. What band was Madonna in? I can do 2 hours just going through this thread and reacting. It's like 1 million people have suggested Ann Wilson, and every single one of these 1 million people are acting like they're the first to think of it. Oh, there's a unique thought. Ann Wilson. Oh, what about Ann Wilson? That's interesting. Nobody else had thought of that. 100. So anyway, that's why Ann Wilson is now trending. She deserves some love, man. She's great. She is truly, truly great. And if you were going to put a woman, that's the other thing. If let's just say there's 100 bands. If there were 100 bands, 98 of them are all guys. So, that's why that women aren't fully represented. If you're going to quell it down to like 10 people, and there are so few female lead singers, they might not make the cut. This is a misogynistic list. Is it really? Or is it the fact that there are thousands and thousands of dudes to choose from and then just a handful of girls? Well, the fact that there's only a handful of girls, stop right there. Don't say anything else, because that is a fact. There are only a few handfuls. Don't project whatever your next thing is. I don't care why there's only, that's another discussion. The reason this list is all men is because there are so few girls. Yes, but that's because, stop. We'll talk about why that is later. But right now, we're talking about this list. This list is the way it is because there are so few female lead singers of bands. Well, but that's because I told you. Ann Wilson, Lita Ford. Lita Ford. What would be the Runaways? Was Lita Ford the lead singer? No, lead singer was, and then she was solo. Lita Ford as a solo didn't front a band. It was Lita Ford. She was in the Runaways, but she wasn't the lead singer of the Runaways. All right, that's it. I got nothing else. Oh, wait. Yeah, I actually might have something else. Let's see what I've missed. What is new that's trending? There's going to be a whole bunch of like football stuff, and I had to skip over so much March Madness. There's so much garbage March Madness. It looks like there's not a lot to show you. No trends, and I just hit the trends on Twitter, and I got a thing that said there are no trending topics. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's like a bunch of baseball stuff because there's a free agent frenzy going on, and that's boring unless it concerns the Rangers. I'm going to ignore it all. Whole bunch of March Madness stuff. I mean, I don't want to talk about Gonzaga or Baylor. I just don't. And a bunch of football stuff going on too because there's Mitchell Trubisky. Look at that. He's going to be the new quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers have reached agreement with quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, sources say. The former number 2 overall pick heads to Pittsburgh as the expected starter in place of the retired Ben Roethlisberger. All right. Wish nothing but the best for Mitch. Let's see. All right. Scott Hall. Fernando Tatis. I don't know if you're a baseball guy. This is big news. Fernando Tatis Jr. needs hand surgery. He's going to miss like 4 months of the season. Jarvis Landry was cut. That's it. It looks like that's just a whole bunch of stupid sports stuff. Okay, yeah, that's it. There's nothing else that's big. All right, well, I do appreciate you guys joining us today. We're going to be back tonight at 9 o'clock. Parker and I, we're going to do Pugs and Parker's Pillow Talk. I don't know what we're going to get into tonight. There might be something. You never know. If something big happens, we'll talk about that. If not, we'll figure out what that's going to be all about in a couple of hours. Where are we at here? I'm going to find, there's that. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to put on our song. There it is. All right. I've got my Adam says, I listen to a lot of Riot Girl and strong female artists. Few of them come to mind for me. They are few and far between, but I think more of how they are as a front person more than just as a singer. Ross says, Ozzy? Yeah, man. Ross, that's another really good suggestion. Ozzy Osbourne, completely over. Ozzy Osbourne is the lead singer of Black Sabbath, was awesome. I mean, he was a solo who fronted a band, but it was his band. They worked for him. It wasn't the classic idea of it. So, tree. I've got my songs to see me through the lonely nights. Help me to be strong, John Hinckley was just singing. Oh, help me to be strong. I made a giant corned beef and cabbage and potatoes feast last night for my boy and me. We did our big Irish St. Patrick's Day dinner last night. I did 2 corned beefs. I did a classic boil with potatoes and cabbage, and then I did this baked one. I did a baked corned beef and I did a boiled corned beef. They were both delicious. I honestly don't know which one we like. We were like, which one you like better? Like, I don't know. They're both really good. And help me to be strong because I have a refrigerator that is filled with corned beef and there's a lot of fat and it's just not on my diet. And I'm telling you, I'm going to get the whole reason I'm getting off the air is because there's a part of me going, you're going to go make a big giant corned beef sandwich and you're going to have a big giant corned beef sandwich for lunch. And then you're going to have a big giant corned beef sandwich for dinner. And then tomorrow and that's how I'm justifying this. I'm supposed to be on my diet, but I'm going, I can't let the corned beef go to waste. I'm just going to have to eat it all as quickly as possible so that I can then start my diet. I am like the dancing bear, trained to be the best. I feel the same way about the half-eaten box of Applejack cereal that my son has left for me. I can't be on a diet and have a box of Applejack cereal in the house. I can't. All right, no diet today. No diet today, but I won't go crazy. Hey, that's a good excuse to go get pie. Everybody's talking about pie today. It's pie day. You should go get pie since today. See, and this is the slippery slope. This is the slippery slope of dieting. This is how I fall out of my diet. God, I want pie. I want pie. I want a corned beef sandwich, and I don't want to run, and I don't want to work on my book today. Help me to be strong, John Hinckley. Help me.
It has been a journey, a multi-answer test. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come.
Byron says he stopped manscaping and now he calls that area his comfort nest.
I have found a different way.
You better believe it. You better believe I appreciate that.
I have got an old guitar. That is all I need.
It's all I need. It's all he
I
needs.
don't need no
All right.
401.
I'm done. I'm done with you people. I'm out of here.
The greed.
See you at 9 o'clock. Come back for Pillow Talk if you're so inclined. And then tomorrow again for more topics. I am on a never-ending quest. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you guys.
Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come.
A different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.